live direct from the A&R studios. It's the Empire of Nerd podcast. Here's your host, the Pokétrooper.
And welcome back to the Empire of Nerd podcast. As always, I am your host, the Pokétrooper. With me today, as always, is my lovely co-host, Dr. Snake.
Woo, 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 woo.
What's going on, Dr. Snake?
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
All right. Anything cool happening this week?
Not much. Just hanging out with friends. Hanging out with you right now. I'm on episode 80 of My Hero.
Nice.
But the last two are in Japanese, so I'm just waiting for them to be in English, and I'll be fine.
Oh, I think me and lovely assistant actually just finished season 2. So we're gonna.
Ooh,
so I think we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna introduce her to Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna jump back into it once we finish that up.
Do it, bro.
But anyways, again, we're here. We are on part 2
Part douche
of Console Wars. Last week was Xbox. This week we're gonna talk about everybody's favorite, PlayStation.
Yeah, buddy.
So before we get to that, we're going to run through the news real quick, and then we're going to jump right into the episode because we actually have a lot to cover, and we're going to try to keep this as short as possible. First bit of news. We actually got the first full look at the new Batsuit.
It is.
And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I'm actually impressed. I'm rather impressed. I didn't think Robert Pattinson was going to be that good of a Batman.
Yeah. I like the neck brace on the back of the suit. It looks very tactical.
Dude, it looks really good. It looks nice and armored. It was cool. So they released the photos from the set, and honestly, you can't really tell that it's Robert Pattinson unless you freaking memorize his jawline.
Yeah.
But it looks really good. It looks really intimidating. And what was really cool was they actually had a shot of him on the motorcycle, a new bat cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
Without the cape, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna add that in digitally later on.
It just looks like a Kawasaki Ninja bike. It looks
a little
like
bit.
With
It
just looks like a standard.
With two little horns for the bat ears. But I mean, that's actually looking really good. So we got the first teaser for that. And speaking of Batman, he's going to be a dad again.
Woo! Again.
So they just released some art depicting Batman and Catwoman. Catwoman's actually got a baby bump going on.
Cute.
So So they haven't given all the details yet as to what it's going to be, but it's either going to be a new miniseries based around, I guess, their relationship and how they're going to, continue living their lives as new parents, or it's going to be part of it's going to be a short story that's part of the Catwoman 80th anniversary 100-page special.
Damn.
Yeah, so either or, they haven't given too many details about it, but it's good to stay up on it because the art actually looks really good. It's very, very like old school kind of 90s style Batman. Not so much animated series, but like 90s comic style.
Okay.
But moving on. Netflix just announced 2 new shows. The first one's going to be a Jurassic Park animated series.
Yes.
Dude, this one actually flew under the radar for a bit. Apparently they announced it maybe a year or 2 ago. And then it kind of went quiet, and now they're just announcing it again, and everybody's kind of like, what the hell? But so it's going to be on Netflix, and it's going to be animated, so it's going to probably be maybe geared towards the kids.
Okay.
And so it's going to be about this group of kids that's actually on the other side of Isla Nublar.
Okay.
And they're hanging out at this camp called Camp Cretaceous. So, it's probably going to have their adventures and this and that, and eventually they're probably going to have to deal with the whole outbreak of the dinosaurs on the island. But honestly, seeing as how it's for kids, I don't think they're going to show too much violence and dinosaurs eating people.
Man, I want to see the T-Rex eat a guy off the toilet again.
Hey, when you gotta go.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool. Maybe, but if they have talking dinosaurs, I draw the line, bro. I don't want Barney showing up. No, dude, I don't want Barney showing up and telling these kids not to worry, that everything's okay. And
what's that dragon from the Disney one that's big and green and then has the little hair on
top? Elliot
from
Peach Dragon.
Him, I want him and Dr. Grant. I'm set.
that can be a pretty good sideshow.
That's it.
But also Netflix announced a new Transformers animated trilogy. It's called Transformers War on Cybertron.
Damn, how many wars are there?
I don't know, dude, but it looks really cool. So it's good. It looks like maybe it takes place just before when the Transformers get to Earth, and you know it's really cool. So it's gonna be a 3-part series, and they're gonna start, I believe, in the summer or fall. I need to double check that.
Okay.
But it looks really cool. Animation looks super clean. The voice acting is really good. Music's really good. So that's gonna be one to look out for.
For sure.
And our last bit of news, everybody's seen it. Baby Yoda new animatronic toy, dude. This thing, I mean, if you're a fan of Baby Yoda, and who isn't at this point, but you know, it looks really cute, looks very lifelike, and it moves, and it's only retailing for $60.
That's not bad, and it's including the baby crate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy because I mean they just released like that life size statue for like $350.
Yeah, $350.
And now I'm pretty sure people are beating themselves over the head because now you can get an animatronic one. Like it moves and makes noise and talks to you
and
and
I think
shit.
actually Hasbro's making it too.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really, really quality, like really good quality, I'm pretty sure. And then, you know, it's probably gonna be like 12D batteries or something like that to run it. Give it that nice baby weight.
Right? You know, like that, you know, like those old school like RC cars, you have to fucking have like 6 on that and then like 4 on the controller. Like, damn it! That's all batteries around the house, man.
And that shit only lasts about an hour.
Fucking bullshit.
But yeah, so that was our quick news, and we're gonna jump right into our topic. So I'm sure we just gave everybody a little bit of flashback with that sound effect. But yeah, PS1, man. Do you know when it actually started going into, not production, but when it started putting together?
No.
It actually started all the way back in 1986, dude.
86?
86. It was actually a joint development between Sony and Nintendo.
Word.
Because Nintendo wanted to start its own, I guess like its own little like side attachment for the NES and eventually the Super NES. They wanted to put discs. So yeah, that started all the way back in 1986, and that was developed by this guy named Ken Kutaragi. And you know, he was working for Sony, and you know, they were approached by Nintendo to do this because, you know, at the time, actually I'm wrong. It started because Ken Kutaragi was actually watching his daughter play NES.
Okay.
And he was kind of like, well, you know, the sound could be better, this and that. So he actually started working for Nintendo, building the new chip called the SPC 700. Which, I mean, I don't want to get too boring with this stuff, but what it means was that Super NES actually had a really good sound quality compared to Sega and all the other guys. You know,
personally, I love Super NES, but that's another topic.
I mean, good music, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, so. You know, he developed that, and then he eventually developed the SPC 1000, which went into the PS1. And that is why the PS1 had, like, the best sound quality games and everything.
Yeah. Because,
you know, it actually, if you were to ask people back in the day, it was actually good enough to compete with, like, the $1,000, like, station, like radios that people were buying back then for CDs because it was so super clear, you know. But yeah, you know, eventually that thing released September 9, 1995.
Wow.
I mean, I was like 4 years old.
That's 5.
I was 4 years old when that dropped, so you know, I still wasn't too aware of it yet, but yeah, dude, I mean, like all the way back in 95, and actually took about 9 years to sell 100 million units.
Damn.
So a long ass time.
Yeah.
So obviously by the end of its life cycle, it had already reached 100 million units. But yeah, dude, I mean, the PS1 dropped, and I mean, that was kind of like the dawn of true gaming as it was, because at the time it was only Sega and Nintendo, but it was kind of clear who the winner was between that. And when Sony dropped their own console, I mean, it was like a huge hit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I think during the time it was kind of more like hotcakes. I think the Sega CD or something like that was in between.
Yeah.
I might be kind of like, you know, just like a little gray area because I don't know like the real timelines for the Saturn or like actually CD. But yeah, I mean, totally game changer. A first console for Sony. Yeah. So hey, why not?
So I mean, they did a good job with that, you know, and dude, actually, the launch titles weren't too bad. I mean, you had Battle Arena Toshinden, ESPN Extreme Games, Kill League, the DNA Imperative, NBA Jam Tournament. Yeah. You had Raiden Project, Rayman, Ridge Racer, Street Fighter the movie, Twisted Metal,
come on, bro,
Tekken, Destruction Derby.
Dude, Destruction Derby. I feel like in that time, I feel like Tekken 2. No, actually, Tekken 3 was good. Destruction Derby 2 and Twisted Metal 2 were like the best ones.
Yeah.
It was the shit. And Resident Evil 2. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, even though, Resident Evil didn't come out for a little bit, but still, I mean, that was a huge franchise for the console.
Like the sequels for the PS1 felt like the best ones.
Yeah. What was your first experience with the PS1? Do you remember?
Actually, my next door neighbor had it when I used to live in the valley. Efrain, what's up, brother? So he had the PS1, and he had, I think it was like more down the line. He had Soul Calibur or Soul Blade. I think
Soul Blade.
Soul Blade. It was Soul Blade and some racing games, and then down the line he had it was like the fighting boxing one, Knockout Kings. He had Knockout Kings.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Right, remember that one? And so he's the one that converted me to PlayStation. Bless his heart. Because I think at the time I don't even know what console I had. Luckily I had some neighbors that had that. Another neighbor had the 64. But yeah, man, I think it was his upbringing to the PS4. I mean, the PS1 to me that I got a PS1.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, man?
Dude, oh man. So, before PlayStation, we actually didn't have any of the Nintendo consoles. We had a Sega Genesis, and that thing came boxed with Sonic Spinball, and I was hooked on that forever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But we had that, and one day I guess my his best friend came over, and he had this little black bag, and it actually had the PlayStation logo on it, and he unzipped it, and he pulled out this gray box, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And he goes, oh yeah, PlayStation, this is this new thing that just came out, blah blah blah. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, like what? So is it games or what? And that's when he pulls out the disc, and I remember tripping out about discs too, because I mean, prior to that, it was all cartridge.
Yeah, it was all cartridge.
And I didn't know what to expect, and dude, he put in. I remember it was Wipeout, the first one.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I mean, as soon as I started playing that, I was hooked, brother. I mean, Wipeout. We eventually bought our own PlayStation, but I mean, we had Wipeout, we had Jet Moto. Mm-hmm. We got Twisted Metal.
Jet Moto 2 again.
Jet Moto 2 was amazing.
I told you, see, man, sequels, bro.
We had Tony Hawk Pro Skater. We got Spyro, Medieval, Crash Bandicoot.
Damn.
I mean,
Part 2 was good too in Crash.
Dude, Crash Bandicoot was amazing. And for a little bit, I mean, they were trying to make him the face of PlayStation. But for whatever reason, PlayStation couldn't find their mascot, Yeah. Nintendo had, Mario. Sega had Sonic, but, Crash, they tried to use Crash.
It was a good promotion for that, though.
Yeah,
too.
and before that, I don't know if you remember it, but I think his name was Mr. Polygon. It was just like I think it was like a purple face or something like that, made of like weird squares and angles and shit.
I feel like maybe the third place to that mascot was Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was an amazing game.
Yeah. So I think maybe third place was probably him.
Yeah, because I mean, I think he was probably the second most known face for PlayStation there was at the time, because even though Mr. Polygon didn't have a game, they kind of pushed him a bit, and eventually kind of faded away in favor of Crash. Mm-hmm. And then I think Parappa the Rapper, because he was always. I remember like every time you get the box for the PlayStation and turn around, that was the first game you seen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you remember, dude, those commercials for Sony that they came out with? Like, man, like it might have been just before the 64 landed, and they would show up to the Nintendo offices, and that dude would come out in the giant Crash Bandicoot costume with the megaphone,
and then he'll like destroy either what's around him, or like he'll like not curse at them, but he'll
hey, Nintendo, come on, man.
Yeah. Like, you suck. Come on, because I think still at the time, I think PlayStation still had the one up for before Nintendo released whatever GameCube.
Yeah.
After that, and GameCube was, I mean, again for another time of the podcast, but that was a great concept
that'll be next episode.
But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember the commercials.
But yeah, dude, those commercials were funny, man, and yeah, dude, 'cause I mean, like I said, prior to that, it was just Sega and Nintendo just battling it out, and you can tell like Nintendo had a very clear lead because of all the mainline games they had, as opposed to Sega, who only had Sonic really, and then all these other third party video games, But once Sony started dropping their games, and they dropped a lot, dude. Like that was actually a really good launch for them. and it was such a nice wide variety of video games for people to choose. But then eventually started coming out with I feel honestly like the RPG heyday was the 90s and the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, you had all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, never got into them, but dude, like, yeah, I used to see them all the time.
Freaking Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legend of Mana, Legend of Dragoon. I mean, oh geez, dude, like there's just so many. Like you can be here all night just talking about all the different RPGs they had. And I mean, yeah, like you couldn't turn around without seeing a new one coming out every week. And I feel like at that point of time, it was a lot easier to get a crappy game than it would be nowadays.
Yeah.
Because even back then the reviews were kind of all over the place. But like nowadays, you know when a game's good, it's going to be good because companies like to spend their time and working on it, as opposed to back then it was a lot of just like, oh, whoever came up with a good enough idea will fucking make it, you know.
And it's funny because I think with that concept of making the great game in either in a nick of time or cost, I feel like the most one that was the most tragic, off topic from the PlayStation just for a bit, was Atari, that ET game.
Yeah.
They've I think they tried to release it like in fucking 4 or 5 months, and they mass produced so much, and then they end up not selling a fuck ton, and had to bury it in Arizona
New
or
Mexico,
New Mexico because they had so much, and then like was it like 3-4 years ago they finally actually found like that theory or myth real.
Yeah, they actually had a really good documentary.
Yeah,
about
they
that.
did. Mm-hmm.
Hey, that'll be our give it a shot. So, if we can remember the name of the title, we'll put it in the description because I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's totally on point because, you know, early 80s to like the mid 90s, late 90s, dude, they were putting out all these games and it was like, oh, there's a new movie coming out. Let's make a game for it. Let's get it out there because they want to get that name recognition. Oh, if there's a new, you know, Power Ranger movie come out, let's put out Power Ranger games. If there's a new Marvel movie coming out, put a Marvel game out, you know. They just wanted to tie that in because especially once they started coming out with all like the Tomb Raider movies, you know, PlayStation, you know, Tomb Raider already had a long history with the PlayStation as it was with 1, 2, 3, and then once it got to the PS2, you started having more and more games. But once the movies were coming out, they were just posting them out like every month almost, just trying to like keep up and cash in on like the fad of Tomb Raider coming out. Yeah.
And then also too, like speaking of like movie games, if you guys have for the PS1 Batman Forever the arcade, please DM us because I am trying to find that one. That is one of my grails a little bit. So DM Pokétrooper on his Instagram. Holla at your boy, Dr. Snake. Thank you.
Slide in the DMs, y'all. Okay, so moving on to the next step of evolution for PlayStation was the PS2. And as we all know, that was the best-selling console of all time, of all the companies.
See, the sequel, 2.
Part 2, that's what does it.
The best.
And in its lifetime, it sold 157 million units.
God damn.
I mean, that thing was just, it was a powerhouse. A freaking powerhouse of things. But, you know, there's actually some really funny little facts about it, you know? Like, did you know it could actually display in 1080i?
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude, and it ran on the RGA cables and all that. So, you know, you would think like, oh, we know everybody has HDMI cables connected to the back of their TVs now. You know, you play 1080p, 4K, and, you know, eventually we're going to hit like 12K and who knows, you know, eventually. But yeah, it can actually play 1080i, but it can only take like a couple games could do it. Specifically, a game called Tourist Trophy, Valkyrie Profile 2, and Jackass the Game.
Why Jackass?
I don't know. Like, you know, like it's funny, dude. Like, it's always like the most random games that take advantage of like the best parts of the technology.
I think it was probably so simple to make. They're like, hey, let's just throw in a 1080i and it just shows fucking like Steve-O's pubes and you know Johnny Knoxville's fucking dandruff.
Like, no, yeah, dude. Like it's funny, but like, yeah. I mean, I think that's probably what it is. Like, it's just they're so simple games. That's like they can get them looking so freaking clean because everything can go from. Instead of focusing on the gameplay, you can just focus on the definition of it all. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's funny because if you look at it, the design for the PS2 was actually based on an old Atari console concept art.
I see it because like it's very well. Besides it being a square, but the ridges on the side.
Yeah, it's very blocky and all that. And funny enough, they designed it to look like a computer monitor, like a tower.
Oh no way.
Yeah, that's why you can actually stand it up on its side. So and then
Makes a lot of
eventually you can actually put in like that thing to go online.
The thing to go online.
Like the big ass adapter.
You have your fan. You have your fucking stand. Yeah, dude, that shit came into a fucking tank.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, so they kind of designed it to look like a computer, I guess, to give it some more like, I guess, street cred or whatever the hell you want to get, some nerd cred, I guess, because PlayStation isn't really that street. But I mean, yeah, and actually, another fun little tidbit, I guess, would be, do you remember when you would start up the game, you would get the those white towers floating in like that smoky thing?
Yeah, and then it kind of zooms in and zooms out with the little like circle stars things.
Yeah, so actually a funny little fact, those towers actually represent all your saved games on your memory card.
What?
Yeah, so if you were to pull out your memory card when you start off the game, they actually wouldn't be there.
Okay.
And if you were to put your memory card back in, they would be back. So each one actually represents a different game save file you have. And obviously the bigger the memory for the game, the taller the tower was.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, it's actually really interesting, the little stuff they put in there. And actually, did you know they could actually stream Netflix on the PS2?
No.
Yeah,
No.
so when everybody thinks about like Netflix and all that, like how they started, they had you would rent DVDs, they send them to you, and you send them back, whatever. They actually started their streaming on the PS2, but you actually had to buy this special add-on disc, and you had to live in Brazil because apparently you can only stream Netflix in Brazil on your PS2.
Another add-on and the location, I don't know why. Just
yeah,
Brazil.
I mean that was before VPNs and all, so it's like, well, I guess we can't get it. But anyways, I mean they had a really good, a whole bunch of other launch titles, and again they were all sequels. From PS1 to PS2. I mean, you had Armored Core 2, Dead or Alive 2, Hardcore, Dynasty Warriors 2, ESPN International Track and Field, ESPN X Games, Snowboarding, Eternal Ring, Evergrace, Fantavision, Gun Griffin Blaze, Kessen, Madden NFL 2001, Midnight Club, MotoGP, NHL 2001, Cue Balls, Raid Rumble 2, Ridge Racer 5, Silent Scope, Smuggler's Run, SXX, Street Fighter EX3.
That's like that funny... it was like a blocky one.
Yeah,
it was like the first blocky one.
It was kind of like more 3D.
Yeah,
it was real weird.
It was like chunky.
But I mean, they also had Summoner, Swing Away Golf, Tekken Tag Tournament.
Oh, that
dude! I burned a lot of time on Tekken Tag.
Tekken Tag.
Time Splitters, Unreal Tournament, Wild Racing, and X Squad.
Yeah.
Dude, those were a lot of freaking. I mean, as a launch, easily that beats PS1.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't just like pack that much games and not expect the console to sell so much as it does. But I mean, yeah, dude. And I mean, dude, like the PS2 gave us like all our greatest games.
Yeah. I actually still have my original PS2. I had to upgrade to a PS Slim. A PS2 Slim is because it wasn't reading fucking black discs. Remember that?
Yeah.
My shit would stop reading it, and the only one that made me just like say fuck and I had to get a new one was Marvel's Capcom 2.
Yeah.
That one did not let me play it on my OG PlayStation, and fucking had to get a Slim.
Dude, I mean that game was just. I remember spending easily about maybe $30 in quarters at the arcade. Anybody remember arcades? Yeah, those things were cool, right?
Come on, man.
But yeah, and I mean, dude, we all know PlayStation 2 birthed probably one of the biggest, I guess you can say, epidemics, or I guess fads in gaming, and that was the open world.
Yeah.
With Grand Theft Auto 3.
Grand Theft Auto 3, you had Vice City and San Andreas.
Oh, dude, the PS2 for GTA.
Come on back,
dude. That was a whole fantastic era of gaming, dude.
It went from the bird eyes view to
street level,
over the shoulder view, third person, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Fucking great, dude. That shit blew out of. Fuck.
Dude, I remember.
Such a good game.
I remember wanting to buy that game so bad, and my parents didn't really want to because, that was the first game that was getting like all the all like the controversy because of everything you can do in that game. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, shooting, killing, hookers, and drugs, and mafia, and street racing. And it was like, no, we don't want our kid playing this. And I think my brother bought it for me. And
Thanks, bro.
yeah. So, but yeah, I know. And but I mean, yeah, from 3 you got Vice City, which was an even bigger world,
Yeah.
and then from Vice City you go to San Andreas,
Dude, San Andreas was so.
and that brought Grand Theft Auto to the West Coast, you know.
Yep.
And I think who was the guy that played the voice of CJ?
Oh man.
Was it the game?
It could probably be. I mean, I'll believe it if I heard it, but I don't know.
It's been a while since I looked that up. But dude, even San Andreas, it gave us our first taste of multiplayer GTA.
Yeah.
Remember, you can find those little spots where you can hit it and you can actually get a second person on the screen with you.
That's right.
So, I mean, dude, like, PS2 was just
Yeah.
innovating
Yeah.
all its gameplay.
Yeah. So you're the type of person that you would have your cheat codes
Yeah.
inside, like, you know, like a folded up, you know, like a piece of paper, having it inside, dude. Like what was it, unlimited ammo and no death and like super fat, super skinny. What was it, no gravity and things like that. Dude, I mean, and then going back to the PS1. The best fighting game I believe for that console was Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yeah.
If you guys have that one, I actually know one from the top of my head. So I think right before it actually hits to the main menu, hit the L1, R1, R2, R1. I mean R2, yeah, the top ones, and then and then on the D-pad hold up and triangle. So you hold all those 6 buttons at the same time. The screen shakes and it's one button fatality.
Oh,
So
shit.
it's like babyality. What was the other one? I was gonna say I was gonna say bestiality. No,
Animality.
but animality, and then the regular fatality, and then there was one that was like he will hit you once and then like a bunch of fucking times and it goes super fucking fast. Oh, brutality. Brutality. There you go. So dude, like I even have like a little one in like a magazine back in the day where you used to buy those magazines to get the codes. And again,
it was Tip and Tricks magazine.
Ah, dude, Tip and Tricks magazine. I think I had Tip and Tricks magazine. I think all time 99, and I still have it. It's all like duct tape and shit. Again, thank you, June. That was my other neighbor on the other side, Asian guy. He's the one that introduced me to Final Fantasy VII. I actually like to enjoy people play. So I was always seeing him play. So I never really played at all. I knew the character and stuff like that. But so he gave me that code book. Hey man, if you're out there, buddy, God bless you, man. Like I miss you, love you. So yeah, dude. So I had those codes to the T because that was my shit.
Yeah, dude. I remember that, especially for GTA 3. I had all those codes memorized. And now, if you were to ask me, I think the only one I remember was like right, down, left, up. L1, L2, L1, up, left, down, right. And that would actually let you randomly transform your character into like some random citizen in
Yeah.
in GTA.
Fuck my math class. I remember that shit.
Yeah. And I just always remember I used to get pissed because I always used to like the outfit of the cop.
Yeah.
But as soon as you did anything, because it was a police officer, like you would automatically get like 3 stars.
Yep.
It used to piss me off. I was like, no, I just want to be a cop and ruin things. But yeah, dude, I mean, yeah, Tips and Tricks magazine. I remember that too, and I remember you would get it like maybe like every month or every other month, and they would give you all. I was just actually talking to a lovely assistant about this, but you know they would have their articles and their reviews, and then they would have their previews, and then like the whole back half of the magazine was just nothing but tips of cheat codes.
Yeah.
And it would always like just split them up from like PlayStation to the Sega to the Nintendo, and at the very end they had the big chunk of Game Shark codes.
Oh, dude, Game Shark.
Dude, that Game Shark was cool back then.
Yeah, it was for the older consoles. It was Game Genie,
Yeah.
and then I actually have one for the NES and for the Sega, but you had your cheat codes for that, and then Game Shark was also that was for the PS2,
Yeah.
GameCube, and Xbox. I miss those.
Those
I
are
really
cool,
miss
dude.
those.
Yeah, you know what? Nowadays you don't really get like too many cheat codes in the game anymore.
That's because you get you will deactivate your trophies and your
Yeah.
achievements and so forth, so you don't get the full experience. So there's like a cheat way, which is fine. Who cares?
Yeah. But I mean, it's always fun. Like I think once you finish the game,
Yeah.
and you complete it, 100% or not, if as long as you complete the main story, like dude, it doesn't hurt to go back and put some codes in and just mess around.
Yeah.
That was the whole fun part of it. But dude, if you had to come down on most underrated game for the PS2, like a game that not too many people played, but they should have.
Oh man, PS2 underrated game. I mean, dude, there was a shit ton of PS2 games.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like the ones I was just playing, it was just like obviously Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
You had all the Grand Theft Autos, all the Street Fighters, all like the Marvel Capcoms. Can't really think of one. What do you think?
Dude, actually, it's not a well-known game.
Mm-hmm.
It's super rare to find. I wish I would have at least kept the box for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually a game called The Bouncer. I
that's
don't recall what the
right.
hell the story was about, but you can choose 3 characters. And it was a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So you would play your character. I think you can have 2 people on screen at once, and you would just move along through the level. And like I said, it was just a beat 'em up. So you just have to fight all the enemies and clear out the level, and you would advance it to the end. And then depending on which characters you took with you, you can actually alter like the storyline. So like I said, it's 3 characters. If you had these 2 characters, they could go one way. But if you just change one of those characters out, it'll switch it to another path. And then if you switch the 3rd character out, it would take another path. So if I remember right, there's about maybe 9 endings for the game, because each combination of characters and the way you advance through the game and which direction you took could actually alter the storyline.
That's pretty cool. And then I actually just remember the cover of that guy with like his like hands over his like chest, right? And
Yeah.
it's like the bouncer, and it's like all like animated kind of thing.
Yeah, dude, it was a really weird thing. Like it was just a super plain box, and it was just the character on the box on the cover, and it was just like him. I think it was like a red and black jacket, and in shorts. He kind of reminded me of Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts! I just remembered that was a huge thing back on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Square Enix and Disney. Jeez,
Yeah.
dude, that was like such, like, oh, like, I'm at a loss for words. Like, it was. I'm not looking for innovative, but it was so ambitious. You have 2 huge companies coming together to create this game, and it's like, dude, you have everybody from Final Fantasy. You have all the Disney characters, the villains.
Yeah.
Hands down, Kingdom Hearts 1 is still my favorite one.
Okay.
Part 2 felt floaty to me. And this last one, part 3, was just, I mean, I'm still not sure how to feel about it. I think it was too much Pixar, not enough classic Disney.
Oh, I see.
Whereas the first game was strictly like classic Disney animated
like Aladdin,
cartoons.
right?
Aladdin, Tarzan, Alice, Mulan, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
And then part 2 added Tron.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pirates of the Caribbean. And 3, they just kind of went back. They only went back to one franchise, which was Pirates. And they had all the Pixars, which was cool, like the Toy Story and all that. But dude, the first Kingdom Hearts, my God, like that was just an amazing game.
Yeah.
And just for the PS2, graphics wise, for all their cutscenes, I mean, dude, those were beautiful, beautiful cutscenes.
Talk about cutscenes. I mean, if you love cutscenes and want to fall asleep to them, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I mean, Hideo Kojima can't decide if he wants to make movies or games.
I mean, I guess he put it onto 2. That it was a long ass game.
But yeah, dude, like it's so surprising, like the graphical power of the PS2, because you wouldn't expect it. That was like, late 90s, early 2000s, and back then things weren't. Everything still looked blocky, especially like when you compare it to like the Xbox. Everything was looking nice. It was a big advancement in games, but everybody still looked blocky and square.
Yeah, and then like even with the concept of actually graphics, the 2 racing games that I grew up was Gran Turismo and Need for Speed. And if they would ever, and I think up to this point still, if I talk to somebody about Need for Speed, they'll say, which is the best one, and they always say Underground 2.
Dude, Underground.
Underground 2, you could customize everything, and and the graphics were good, the plot was good. I don't know what it is. Either the controlling of the car was just different, but just give me the remastered of that. I'm good.
I think what it was a combination of the controls. They were still like arcadey enough, so as not to turn like people off. Because I remember I would get pissed playing Gran Turismo, dude. Because
Gran Turismo was
they were
tricky.
realistic graphics,
Yeah,
like realistic
it was crazy.
physics. Obviously, if you're hauling ass, you can't take a turn that easy.
Mm-mm.
So I think what helped, Underground was that, it had those arcadey controls where you can take a freaking, super sharp right at like 90 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you had the options of just totally customizing your car, all the way down from the paint to the rims and everything.
Lowering it, lights underneath.
Yeah, dude. Like I think this
fender.
it just hit. And I feel like maybe because it hit around the time of like Fast and Furious.
Probably.
That
I believe it.
everybody was so into that, and then everybody was so into like the racing car culture at that time, like the street racing culture. So I think it just happened to hit. But my favorite racing game was actually Midnight Club 2.
Yeah.
And it was similar. It was, I guess it was supposed to be like the competition for Underground.
Yeah, it was.
But obviously it didn't have the, like the customizing option. I think he only changed the color of your car. That was really it.
Mm-hmm.
But it had some really fun controls. You can make your own tracks, and I used to love racing through like the streets of LA, dude. And they got it down really good, like from like that big ass ravine where they shot Grease, down to the airport, everything, all the way down to San Pedro. You can race all the way down to San Pedro in that game. I remember that, and I used to love going over that big ass bridge that goes into San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, dude, and the freaking crazy like tricks you can do, like if you can actually like get your car up onto two wheels to go between traffic.
Oh yeah.
And you can drive it, and then like you can pop a wheelie and all this shit. It's really cool, and that was a thing because you can get an actual Dodge Charger in that game, and if you burn the rubber and took off at the last second, it'll actually pop a wheelie like freaking Vin Diesel's.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, like those were really amazing games for the PS2.
Yeah, dude. Another sequel from a PS1 to a PS2 was a Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
See, all the sequels were just amazing.
All the sequels came out too, but it wasn't a sequel. Yeah, okay. You could think of it as a sequel.
I think I'm gonna say.
But I know we've covered this game before, but I have to say it again.
I'm gonna say it.
What?
Ico to Shadow Colossus.
Yes.
Ah!
My God, dude, like that. We cannot stress this enough. If you have a PlayStation 4, please go pick up this game.
That's another give it a shot.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think we already did that one, but still.
We'll do it every
Do it again.
episode if we have to,
it
until
again.
we get everybody to play that game.
Do it again.
Like, oh God, dude, like that was such a good, fantastic game. Like it needs to be played by everybody.
Yeah, I even think I bought my girlfriend a copy of her own copy for Shadow Colossus because she wanted to borrow my copy. I said, "Hail to the no." So I bought her her own. I think she saw me play probably like the 6th or 5th Colossus. She fucking loved it.
Jeez.
Just by watching, like she caught it midway, or like probably like to like the 2nd and 3rd, and dude, like she was like, "Man, that's really dope. I want to see why he's killing these Colossus." I'm like, "Here's your copy."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can do. Here's an idea for a future episode. We'll do this. They have like the 100 books to read before you die, or the 50 books to read before you die.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a 50 games to play before you die.
Ooh.
And we're gonna cover everything.
Ooh.
Old school, new school, every console. So I mean, we're gonna have to do that, but definitely Shadow Colossus is gonna be on that list because everybody needs to play that game.
Yeah.
Cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
Please go out and buy it now.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, like PS2, and then like you said, Metal Gear 3, like that was a huge freaking jump in graphics.
Dude, it was just I for Metal Gear Solid 2, I was really excited for it. I wanted to see what was continued form, like the actual story itself. And when Hideo just randomly just wanted to do like a prequel and just jump fucking time lapse and then got Snake Eater, even so much better, man. Like you see how he how he becomes like the boss. From the boss to big boss, as you know. Yeah, dude, that was such a great fucking story, man.
Dude, I think what also helped was everybody was still kind of salty for playing Raiden in part 2.
Oh yeah, please.
Come on,
Please.
man. But yeah, no.
He got cooler, but
yeah.
I mean, I still, when I was playing the PS2, I'm like, who the fuck? I think everybody had the exact same
Solid
concept.
Snake Simulation.
Yeah, it's like Snake Plissken and shit.
Iroquois Pliskin.
There you go.
He was supposed to be like what's his name from Escape from LA?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, dude, like I can't believe that. And now moving on to PS3, we're almost to like the modern era of PlayStation, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, PS3 launched November 17, 2006. It retailed for $3.99 and $5.99 because there's actually two versions of it.
Yeah, there was a different memory, right?
Yeah, 20 gigs and 60 gigs. And the only way you can tell the difference was the 60 gig had like that silver bar on it.
That's right.
A piece of plastic.
And the other one had like a chrome one.
Yeah. So, dude, and you know what's funny? Sony actually lost a lot of money on those consoles, those first consoles, because you know, like I said, the 20 gig was $3.99, the 60 gig was $5.99, but the actual like the cost to make them were actually $800 roughly about. So I think the 20 gig was about $885, and the 60 gig was $840.35.
Wow.
So dude, they actually lost a lot of freaking money on those games, you know. But dude, like the PS3 was like super ahead of its time, especially when you're talking about processing power, because it was to the point that the Air Force actually created a supercomputer by connecting 1,760 PS3s together.
Jesus.
Dude, yeah, and it actually made it the 33rd biggest supercomputer in the world.
Damn.
And like, you know, it's just strange, but I don't know if you remember, I think it was called, it you know, when you would start up the PS3, you had the options to, you know, it gave you like the Sony layout of like the Blu-ray players, gave you like that cross media thing, and there was actually two options. One was PlayStation Home, remember that?
Yes, I remember Home.
And it was kind of like this like social media,
like SimCity,
like like Sims. Kind of, you made your character and you would go and you know hang out with other players
in their home.
Yeah, and you can like dress up with different costumes. You would dance and chat with people. But there is actually this other option. And it was actually, in a sense, actually helped because you would go, if your PS3 was connected online, you would click this, and every time you actually turned on your PlayStation, you would reserve a little bit of processing power. So maybe your PlayStation will run a little bit slower, but you're actually putting aside a little bit of processing power from each PlayStation to help like the research for, I believe it was like cancer or AIDS or something like that.
Wow.
Like so you know, some are off, some are far away. In the US there was actually this like this mainframe that was just using up all the processing power of all these PlayStations to help fund researching. So it's actually really cool, you know, that they actually did that. But dude, the one thing I always remember about the PS3 was, do you remember the concept art?
No, actually I don't.
Dude, so they actually had, well, not art, but they actually had a concept of the console at one of the E3s, and it was just this huge silver box, and I just remember the freaking controller looking so damn ugly. It looked like a batarang.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it was a banana.
It was like yeah, that's right.
Dude, it was just really ugly, really thin. It was like a perfect U. And like as soon as everybody seen it, everybody was really pissed about it. Like it was just like no one wanted this thing. But yeah, but eventually they kind of got their stuff together and they made the Sixaxis controller.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the Sixaxis controller was that you can actually use it to do motion controls. So you can control, you know, your vehicle or your plane or whatever you're playing. But the only downside to it was because it had the motion controls, they couldn't have rumble.
So they removed it, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I hated that concept because
it sucked.
Yeah, it did because you almost remember like the jerk of when you're punching or driving or whatever game you're playing, and you're like expecting it on your rumble, and it doesn't rumble. You
always felt like the controller was dying.
Yeah.
Dude, it sucked. But if I remember right, I think it was because they thought the technology for the wireless, that's why they had to take the rumble out. I guess they couldn't have wireless and rumble, or the rumble was somehow messing with the wireless and would lose connection.
You know what I thought too when that came out with the Sixaxis and then not the rumble? I was like, these fuckers better not do what they did for like the 64. I don't want no fucking rumble pack, fucking attachment to this shit, and try to beat Star Fox.
Peripherals, man.
Yeah, fuck that. I was just like, dude, like if I have to attach something else to my fucking another 3-pound weight controller, go fuck yourself. But luckily they didn't do it. So
no, they actually ended up fixing that issue when they came out with the DualShock 3.
Exactly.
So you know it all fixed itself in the end.
Thank you for that, Sony.
But dude, the other cool thing was you know, you can actually connect your PSP as a remote.
Yeah.
So you can have, 2, 3. You can actually have up to 7 remotes connected, if I remember right.
What the fuck for?
Dude, I don't know. Like, there wasn't any party games big enough for that.
Nah.
So, I mean, it's kind of weird when you think about it. But I mean, yeah, dude, you have 7 controls. You have all your friends over, but what the hell are you going to play?
Like, Turtles in Time times 7?
I guess. Must be. But yeah, so you can use your PSP as a remote. And, dude, what always pissed me off. So I remember I had to go and I had to buy the PS3. I didn't get to buy it at the store because it's sold out.
Yeah.
Because everybody went and freaking bought them up. And I had to buy it like through another vendor.
Okay. So like a third party.
Yeah. And that dude charged me like, like $700 or $900.
What the fuck?
Almost $1,000, dude. It pissed me off. But so I bought this thing. And I remember being okay, whatever, like you can play, PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. No problem.
Of like the backward compatibility.
That was the best part of it. But then they came out with the slim ones, and they took that all away from us. Like,
why,
dude? Now I have to have 3 separate consoles on my coffee table now.
It looks cool, but is it?
No, it's not necessary. Dude, I had a PS1, a PS2, PS3 all in one corner of the coffee table, and then right next to it I had the Wii, and then I had the Xbox or the 360. And it was like, dude, come on, man. Just give me one console for everything. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. But, dude, yeah. I mean, again, another great launch lineup, dude. You had Tony Hawk 8, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 7, Ridge Racer 7, Resistance, Fall of Man, NHL 2K7, NBA 2K7, Gundam Crossfire, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Madden, Call of Duty 3, and Blazing Angels.
Wow.
Dude, I remember when I first bought it.
Which one?
The PS3.
Oh, okay.
I only had one game for a year, dude. Because I remember thinking, like, I'm not going to pay 60. I got mad when they said the games are going from $50 to $60.
That was crazy. That was a big jump, too.
That was a big jump to $10. I mean, you're like, okay, whatever. I mean, you figured nowadays you buy, like, games for, like, 70, 80, 90, $100.
Yeah.
150 sometimes. But for, like, the first year that I owned a PS3, I only had Resistance Fall of Man.
I remember that, yeah. You had it for quite a while.
And, dude, I swear that game took me all year to beat. But, I mean, dude, like, the online was really fun, though. And I love the design of all the things. So, if you never played it, what it was it was kind of like this alternate timeline of the world where, like, I guess, World War II ended early. And they never had to drop the bomb. But then, like, this alien kind of, like, parasite landed on the Earth and started infecting people and turning them into, like, these kind of big buggy monsters who, like, their bodies overheated, and it made them like these alpha predators. Mm-hmm. But your character, I think his name was Nathan Hale, was infected, but it didn't take over him right away. Mm-hmm. And so he was able to, like, take advantage of some of, like, the alien like instincts, like he can, like, run faster and sprint for longer. He can control their weapons. I don't think he could see through walls like they could, mm-hmm. but he wouldn't overheat like the aliens would. And eventually, they made part 2 and part 3, and that was just kind of continuing the story of how the parasite was taking over him. Yeah. And they had a squad of soldiers that were like that. But dude, it was really fun. I remember that game like really well. But yeah, dude, like PS3, like again, it was a bunch of amazing games, just one after the other after the other.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the continuation of the story that left out that 2, had to wait for a fucking new console for that thing, and I waited, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I remember playing PS. Actually, I don't think I played that until the PS4.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And that was when you had to, like, download, like, the fucking 60 gigs every, like, for a quarter of a game.
I just love, like, the loading screen with, like, old Snake, and he's just, like, smoking.
Just sitting there smoking the whole time.
It
kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. And then that's when they came out for, like, the Resistance, the Legendary Pack, the Ultimate Pack, and my dumbass got them all.
Yeah. But, I mean, dude, like, what can you do, They got you.
Yeah. Super funny.
But, yeah, dude, and then freaking, again, continuing on the freaking, the fad, GTA 4. Back to Liberty City. Like, that was really cool with Nico Bellic. Mm-hmm. And just, like, this whole grimy New York underworld of Liberty City, with his cousin Roman and just,
Oh, yeah, his cousin Roman.
Dude, and the funny part of that was, like, you had to kind of, like, foster relationships with everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually kind of like pretty fun.
Yeah, and then I think the one that I think that we were both all excited, actually, me and you and our other a really close buddy, was actually Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, the
Red
first
Dead
one.
Redemption was the first one. Was actually really good because they did like the Undead Nightmare, and so forth. But dude, and then Assassin's Creed.
That was, you know what? That first one.
Yeah.
So, for me, the only downside to that first one
Mm-hmm.
was where you had there was two downsides to it. One was there wasn't enough, I guess you say variety in the side missions. So a lot of it was either just information gathering or chasing someone down or just killing somebody. So it was there wasn't that much variety between missions of earning your way up to the big assassination. And also you had a bunch of these just unskippable dialogues, dude, that would last for minutes. And it was come on, man, I just want to get to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, yeah, Assassin's Creed was this big thing because that was the whole, you can go anywhere in that world. You can
Dude,
go climb buildings, mountains.
And I think I remember that that first trailer that we I think that we watched. It was just him. I guess he's witnessing either a hanging or something like that, and then he was going through the crowds, and he's just touching everybody's shoulder. Yeah. And it's one of those things that's just oh my god, because it's just that's what you would want to do in any other game, just be stealthy.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the first game that was adding multiple what should I call it? Just more solutions to to where to attack and how to attack and diversion and other things to be hidden in the crowd or in the building. It was a great trailer, bro.
Yeah, that was a good one. But honestly, dude, I loved the trilogy that was part 2. So, you not only just had, part 1 and then part 2 and then part 3. You had part 1, you had part 2, part 2B, part 2C, and then you went to part 3. Because with part 2, you had the whole Ezio trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, they created such a good character with Ezio that hands down, you ask any Assassin's Creed fan what their favorite game was, and most likely it's gonna be part 2. Mm-hmm. Or any of the sequels,
Yeah, that was great. Which one was the one that he meets Da Vinci?
That was part 2.
Part 2?
Yeah.
Amazing game.
Yeah, because that was set in the Italian Renaissance.
Yeah.
And dude, it's amazing because you can walk around that city and get a really good scope of the world. Mm-hmm. And in a sense, it's kind of taking a little pretend vacation to Italy, because they recreated the whole city and the whole region really, really well in that game,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again, you can climb the Colosseum, mm-hmm. see all the architecture there. And it was actually really, really cool because the interspersed, they had all these little mini dungeons where you would go and either it would either be maybe solve a puzzle, or make it through this obstacle course that would get you pieces of new armor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was really cool because it kind of mixed it up a little bit. But dude, we gotta talk about one of the biggest games to land on PS3, and that was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Dude,
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2. Come on, 222.
Just back on the PS, PS1, but PS2, you had kind of this little battle between Call of Duty and Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Because for a while, Medal of Honor was just the shooter, the World War II shooter.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty first landed, I think, on the PC and then started coming over to the consoles. But even then, it was kind of a rough transition because you couldn't really map out the mouse and keyboard to a controller. But dude, when Call of Duty 4 hit, it was just a huge game changer. I mean, you weren't just in World War II anymore. It was just present day, and it was at a time when everybody was still kind of worried about, terrorism and attacks and all that.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it was just this really interesting look into the world of the tier 1 operators and all that.
Yeah. Which one was the one with the Call of Duty that it's in the shooting in the airport?
Oh, that was that 2 or 3?
I don't know, but speaking of scenes like that in video games, especially for Call of Duty, for first-person shooter, or for whatever games out there during the time, to explain that, to show that's pretty gnarly. That's
pretty dope, though. I remember.
Fucking crazy.
I remember the dude, like at the beginning of the game,
Mm-hmm.
like there was actually a little disclaimer.
That's right, and it would say something about this. This might get a little it's pretty much saying like this
Like
might get
disturbing
a little
images
ugly.
and blah blah.
Yeah, yes or no.
I think it was part 2. It
It
was, part two,
right? Okay.
That was the mission, no Russian. And I mean, dude, we're so used to playing, the heroes in all these games, and even though he was like undercover, like to in a sense play the role of a villain, and to commit like an act of terrorism like that, shooting up an airport, like dude, people weren't ready for that.
No.
And I feel like that was a lot more controversy than GTA ever could, because GTA you're playing your character, and you might be committing all these crimes, and including murder, but like to put you first person into it and literally just like starts blasting away.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude, like that was unheard of. I think the only other game that was like that was Postal, but that was still more like.
Oh, which one's that one? Postal.
Postal was like this is weird game where it was a first person shooter too, and it was literally, think of like GTA but first person, and like a lot more crude. Like you can shoot people and then like pee on them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I think part 2 you can actually play as Gary Coleman.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
Fuck my life.
But yeah, but I mean, with the PS3, you got Call of Duty, and then you got it turned into this every year just like super franchise, dude. Because you had Modern Warfare 2, you had Black Ops 2, you had World at War, which was like my favorite for the longest time.
That was a good one.
And I mean, dude, like Call of Duty overnight became this super franchise, and to the point that they needed two companies to make it. They had Activision, they had Infinity Ward,
and they would almost share each year.
So one would cover one would the other, and you can only get the I think it was only Infinity Ward's games you can get the zombies, Nazi zombies.
That's right.
So you can only get them every other year in a sense.
That's right. Which was fine, because I mean that's what makes you want to play the other games,
Yeah, because I mean you wouldn't be expecting it, because it was kind of out of nowhere with Modern Warfare.
It was.
So I mean you didn't really know like what to expect out of it. But you know what other one was actually kind of, what was it called? Do you remember? It was a Tony Hawk game. It came out around the time of like Skate, but you actually had to have like the skateboard peripheral. So it was just a board you sat on the floor and you would like ride it like a skateboard. And you had to like spin around with it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Is that one of those like race downhill ones?
No. It was an actual like Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, because like the only skateboarding game I remember was Skate. That one, and then there was one for the PS1. I think it was called like 50-50.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and not much skateboarding games, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was. Oh God, I wish I could remember which one it was actually called. But dude, straight up, so you would buy the game, and it came with this huge skateboard, minus the wheels, and you were supposed to like sit it on the floor in your living room and ride it, and you would turn the board and it would turn your character, and I don't remember exactly if you had to actually perform the tricks, like you had to do a kickflip in the game.
Yeah.
But I just remember I was like, I think I was more embarrassed than anything. I was at a party playing it, and I go to turn the board, and it was like new carpet, and so so that board just went whoosh, right out from under me, and I just landed on my ass, dude.
That's pretty funny.
Like I was just like, like I said, it was more embarrassing than painful, and but yeah, dude, like it was just a weird game, but I mean, you had other stuff like Don't Starve, which was a really cool little top-down game. You had all like the weird like little mini weird games like Life is Strange, Zen Pinball, because with the release and the improvement of the PlayStation Network, people you were able to get more games out to more people at once, because people don't want to spend $60 for a pinball game. So you can put it on the PlayStation Network, and then that would get out to more people. And you sell it for $20. So that started the whole thing, the whole trend of the network. But speaking of the network, dude, do you remember we talked about this last time. The 2011 crash of the PlayStation Network.
That was that the one that they were like, just the online, just like completely just went shut,
Yeah,
right?
just went dark for like 9 months.
Wow, I think I remember that.
Dude, it was really weird because I mean it was like, I don't remember if they got hacked or what the hell happened. It might have been a hack because I remember they sent out like a thing afterward like, oh, you know, your information might have gotten out.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give you a free year of like credit monitoring and shit, whatever it was. But yeah, dude, it was like just a straight 9 months of like no online for PlayStation users.
Jeez.
Dude, that was like,
I remember that, but I think I was trying to forget about that because it was so painful.
dude, it sucked, man. Like I was miserable for a year. I couldn't play Call of Duty or anything.
That's crazy.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's just weird how that stuff like went down and how they kind of brushed under the rug, I guess. They don't want people to know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I mean, but they got that solved, and they got it solved just in time for the PS4 to come out. So currently, we are on the PS4. You know,
PS4.
that's the modern iteration of it, and soon we're gonna have the PS5, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Mm-hmm.
So PS4 released November 15th, 2013. Dude, 7 years ago already. Can you imagine that?
Hell, man, time
Flies.
Jeez.
When it was first released, it was priced at $399.99. And as of December 31st, 2019, so just this last year, 106 million units sold.
Woo!
Dude, so they're moving.
Moving up.
You know, again, they started off with, I think there's like 3 versions now. There's the original PS4, the Slim, and then the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, it's, I feel, I believe that by this year they should be giving us the PS5 or maybe next year.
I would hope so.
Because, you know, we're already hitting the end of the console life. But yeah, dude, like again, the lineup for this one was kind of all over the place. Because you had things like Angry Birds Star Wars. But then you had other games like dude, okay, so I love Star Wars, but for some reason Angry Birds Star Wars gets on my nerves.
You got it. It got you angry,
dude. I guess, yeah, you know, but for some reason that just I hate it. I hate Angry Birds Star Wars. I like Angry Birds and I like Star Wars. I should like them both together, but I don't.
Wow.
But it's that's a rant for some other time.
Taste in your mouth.
Yeah, dude. But we also got really fantastic games like Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4,
yeah,
Call of Duty Ghosts,
yeah.
Contrast. I don't remember that game.
Me neither.
DC Universe Online, Dive Kick, FIFA 14. We got games like Flower.
That was a good game.
Which, you know what, surprisingly it was. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really doing much, but I think it's more, not
It's
so much the gameplay,
And the colors.
but like the journey.
And the beautiful journey.
Because you remember we had Flower
Journey.
and we had Journey. And there was another one, wasn't there? It was kind of like your
There was a third one. I think it was called Flow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Same one. So, but yeah, those were very artistic games, dude. So for people who say like games aren't art, like you got to play those and you'll understand. Like, yeah, they are.
You would want to fuck art.
But then you had games like Injustice,
Yeah.
dude, great fighting game. You had Killzone, which gameplay, but looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Looked fantastic.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, those weird games again, like Knack, for whatever reason got a sequel. I don't know why.
That's that one big.
They were like kind of like toys, and there was like a like a weird like RPG combined with like a platformer. Like it's I don't understand it, and it got like I said, it got a sequel. Like every year you get a Madden. I mean that's just
a given.
You know, NBA 2K14. You know, but you also got the new Need for Speed, Skylanders,
Random.
Yeah, and then you had Warframe, which was actually kind of a sleeper hit.
It was a sleeper hit.
So, you know, for those who don't know, Warframe was this free-to-play game on the PS4. They actually gave some free-to-play online games because obviously you have to have, you know, PlayStation Plus to play any of the games online, Call of Duty and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Warframe was actually free-to-play, so you would download it, and it was a shooter. So it was kind of a combination of Call of Duty and maybe one of like the champion shooters like geez, I don't play it, so I don't know what's called. Overwatch.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm getting like yelled at right now. I can feel it.
Overwatch, you fucking piece of shit.
But yeah, so it's a weird combination of that, and like I think like every time you die, you can't come back right away until like one of your teammates gets a kill. They can bring you back.
Yes.
It was a weird. It was a really weird.
It was like a respawn thing. Kill,
Yeah.
respawn, kill, respawn.
But I mean, still but dude, if I had to say anything for the launch lineup, Assassin's Creed 4, like that gave me like my favorite game for PS4, like hands down, because it started with 3 because that was like the one based in like the colonial America, and you can get access to this ship that you can like sail up and down the coast to like mess with like the Templar bases and all their shipping stuff.
Yeah.
So when Part 4 came out, they went further back in time, and you played as the protagonist's father from Part 3. And it turns out his dad was also an assassin, obviously, but was also a pirate.
Oh, damn.
And dude, like you can go and fix up your ship, get all the cannons, go and explore all like it was based in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So you can go island hopping through all the islands, explore them, but you can also like go and take over ships. Like if you ever wanted to play like the definitive pirate game, it would have to be Assassin's Creed 4.
Tight.
You can go and ignore like the whole storyline, just sail around the world, just taking over ships. And if you were brave enough, you can actually go to one of the 4 corners of the map, and you can fight a legendary ship. And each one, if you go like compared to like the other ships that are sailing around, you can just kind of like get in a straight up fight with them. But these, like each one had like a different thing. Like one of them was like armored on the side, so you had to get like your mortars and shoot up and over onto the top. One of them was susceptible to like fire, so you had to drop like the little barrels behind you and hope it would run into it.
Oh shit!
And the one I could never beat and pissed me off, it was a pair of ships, and so one would swim and like float in a really tight circle.
Yeah.
And hit you with like direct cannon fire, and then one would do this huge wide circle going the opposite direction, and would just like launch mortars up and over onto you. So you had to kind of like balance about like, are you going to attack the slower ship doing this tight circles, or are you going to get the faster one doing the big circles?
I see what you mean.
So like it was a lot of like strategy based to that one in general. But yeah, dude, I mean we had that. I think PS4 is the game that got us the South Park
Oh, that's right.
Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I've ever had as much fun and laughed as hard as I did since playing South Park.
I'm really happy they actually branched out from like South Park from like the 64. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Dude, that was fun too. It was like shooter.
Yeah, that was a shooter, yeah. And then I'm really glad they actually came up with that one.
Dude, that one was really fun, and just the classic RPG elements they put into it. And just it was like literally playing an episode of South Park.
That shit was
Like that was the best part because the animation was dead on. Obviously, all the voices were there,
yeah,
and the writing was there. Like it was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude. I mean, so I don't want to spend too much time on the PS4 because it is out currently. You know, it's available to everybody. You know, I don't think really anybody has nostalgia for PS4 just yet.
Yeah, and then obviously for all the games that I have for the PS4, they're all fucking sequels.
Yeah,
they're all fucking sequels. The one I say give it a shot on this one if we could kind of mix it up is Catherine.
Ooh.
Catherine is a good one. It's like pretty much a guy that he has a bunch of friends, and then I guess all of a sudden like in their cities like there's like a bunch of killing going on, but people that are dying in their sleep. They don't know why, they don't know how, and then so obviously everybody's all paranoid. So the main actor I think is Vince. I think that's his name. I haven't played the game. I let the game for a while. He starts getting these nightmares, but he starts getting these nightmares with fantasizing with a different girl.
Yeah.
And then her name was Catherine. So Catherine with the C, I think that's the true girlfriend, or that's the side chick. Catherine with a K is the real one. So he's pretty much cheating on his real Catherine with this other Catherine in his dream, but it's haunting him so bad that that it feels like he can die. So, and then all of a sudden he finds out that I think everybody's having the exact same dream about this chick or about just a girl that they're cheating on with or like so forth. It gets really good, but it's pretty much just like a puzzle game. So you get trapped into his dream, and that's where you play, and then when he wakes up, that's where you kind of go out throughout. That's when he goes out throughout his day about work or about this, and then that's where the story continues, and then you play again when he falls asleep.
Yeah.
Really good game. Try it out, please.
I've been meaning to
Please,
pick
please,
that
please,
one up,
please.
and I just haven't. Like it's definitely on my list to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to touch on real quick the handhelds, because honestly, Sony was Nintendo's only competition when it came to handhelds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had the PSP, which launched in March 24th, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was the first handheld for Sony, and that was around for like 10 years, which is like a standard console life.
Yeah.
When you think about Nintendo and their handhelds, it was just like maybe like 5 years between each one.
And then I got it. It was just because for Metal Gear Solid Acid.
Yeah, I remember that. Dude, that was like the card one, right?
That was a card one launch title. That was a launch title
Yeah.
for the, and then all the other ones. But obviously, it was Metal Gear Solid, and it was a card game, which was fine. But and then Peace Walker.
Yes.
I had to get it for Peace Walker. So then, pretty much, the PSP was on my favor.
You know what, dude? It's funny. I
Did you ever
had
get one?
I had the PSP, and I only had
Okay.
like 3 games for it.
Mm.
So I bought the special edition PSP that came with God of War,
Oh, that's a good one.
and that was actually the first God of War game I played.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think it was called Chains of Olympus. So that was really fun. It was like a full on God of War game, like gore and everything, all the puzzles.
Yeah.
I had Peace Walker, which I never finished. I feel real bad about it because that was actually a
Oh.
really good one.
It was a good one.
And then I had, as much as I don't care to play it, I actually had Street Fighter 3.
That's right. They had Street Fighter 3 Alpha.
Yeah, I never knew the difference between Alpha and
Yeah.
I
Mr. Trooper wasn't really much of a Street Fighter guy.
No, I was more like Smash Brothers and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's good too, but
Yeah, Street Fighter didn't do it for me. I played 4, I played 5, but they're the same game to me. But yeah, so like I said, it was around for quite a while.
yeah. So you know how you were saying about our other episode about the 360, how it had an attachment to. I mean, not yeah. It had an attachment to play the HD movies.
Right.
Now, how'd you feel about when the PSP were making movies for the PSP? Those little
Oh, the UMD disc,
the
yeah.
UMD disc, yeah. So did you like in our generation? I guess at the time, did you think that was gonna last?
No, I honestly didn't.
No?
I was like, because around the same time, that's when we started downloading movies too.
Oh, that's right.
So how much easier is it to carry, 5 or 6 of these little movies,
Mm-hmm.
or you just take one little XD card with like 20 hours of movies on there?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I think when I rebought the PSP because it was slim, it came with Little Big Planet
Yeah.
and the Karate Kid with Jackie Chan
Oh my
and
God.
fucking Jada Smith. Dude, I'm like, really? Out of all fucking movies, I get this one. Like, can I get like Starship Troopers?
Dude, I remember.
or something else like Zoolander?
So-
Something else besides fucking Karate Kid.
So in our area, our hometown, back in the day, we actually had, obviously everybody had GameStop, which used to be EB Games, Electronic Boutiques, whatever. Blah, blah.
yeah.
We actually were lucky. We had a Hollywood Video down the street, and there was attached to it its own like video game division, and it was called Game Crazy.
Getting crazy.
And dude, honestly, I miss Game Crazy so
I
much.
really do.
They had the best like midnight releases. They would give so much stuff away. Best prices, and the people were real cool. Like it got to
Oh,
the
it
point
was
that
genuine,
we
like-
would walk in and we'd be, first name basis with all the workers there.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, like I said, like the midnight releases were fun because they would just start grabbing crap off the shelf and just giving it away.
Yeah, they would give us a swag on what they got for their staff, but they got like overloaded on shit, and they would give us the stuff for us.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
fun. And then when they would do their game tournaments, if they had like extra stuff to give away, they would just come up with like the most random thing to give away.
Mhm.
Especially for us, because like it was like, I think one of us placed like 6th or 7th in like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare launch night,
Yeah.
and they're just like, oh, for the best, not cussing so much when you die, or yeah, here you go, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
And they always found some excuse to
It
give
was-
us
it
free
was super
stuff.
dope. And then I think at the time there were still like the memberships, like EB Games had like a membership card, and then Game Crazy did too.
Yeah.
So if you would convert to Game Crazy, they will grab your membership from EB Games and do like an X, and they will paste it on their wall. Remember
Yeah.
that? And then that's how they would convince you, like saying, oh, see, like all these people, they all converted to a Game Crazy.
Game Crazy.
And then I think still at the time I think I was the only one with a job, I think.
Yeah.
And then so it was just like very like, oh no, I'm okay. Like I'm trying to spend my money some other way. I don't even know fucking how I do it, but I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm alright.
But dude, yeah. But getting back to my story before we sidetracked to Game Crazy. Funniest thing I remember, this might have been for around when the Vita was coming out, and we all went in to go trade in our PSPs and all our stuff to hopefully get a new Vita for cheaper and this and that. And I think that's when the only reason I remember is because you said Karate Kid, and they went and tried to trade in the Karate Kid, and he said.
He fucking said.
He said, "Oh, you have to give us 3 cents to take this."
Yeah, like you owe us instead of you trying to trade it in for cash.
So instead of trading it in and getting some kind of money back, they were charging Dr. Snake to turn the movie in. And I think if I remember right, we just went outside and threw it on the street. We're like, "Fuck this."
Who the fuck, Sony? Why the fuck would you make that bundle, dude? Okay, I liked your God of War bundle. I think you had it.
Yeah.
It was a God of War bundle. It had the game, and it was red. It had fucking Kratos' face on it, and I think that's like, and then something else, I think.
They did a Star Wars one.
Yeah, the Star Wars one.
With Darth Vader.
But fucking Karate Kid? Come on.
Yeah, that was...
At least give me the other one. Walks on, walks off, the original one, not the fucking...
At least, yeah.
Jada Smith
but
one.
freaking...
Oh, fuck.
I love Jackie Chan, but that was not a smart...
No, man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, so the PSP was around for a while. Until what was it? February 22nd, 2012. That's when the Vita actually dropped. And I actually don't have much experience with Vita. I ended up not getting it.
I never got the Vita either. I still want one, actually, just for shits and giggles.
I wouldn't mind getting one. Hell yeah, dude. Like, I mean, it's the downside is they literally just ended support for the Vita, like just last year.
R.I.P.
So I mean, hey, I guess that means we can find it for cheap and get a bunch of free shit for cheap, you know.
Hopefully it's not one of those consoles that you could. It's like really stupid expensive, and then like $200 still, but the games are really dirt cheap. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, if you want a Vita, you can still get one for kind of cheapish.
Hey,
still find the games.
I need a Vita. DM, please. Thank you.
So, long story short, if you got any shit you want to get rid of,
I'll take your shit.
Yeah, message us here or somewhere, and we'll get you in touch with Dr. Snake and maybe buy some crap off of you.
Thank you. Come again.
Okay, so I think we're gonna start wrapping it up here because that's just. I'm sure this episode's already like an hour and a half long.
It's fucking crazy.
And I'm sure the next one is gonna be freaking long. So, closing thoughts. Favorite games from each platform: PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4.
PS1, obviously Metal Gear Solid 1.
Mm-hmm.
PS2, I would want to say Okami. The
Ooh,
dog.
that was a good one.
PS3, Metal Gear Solid 4.
No.
PS4, still current, bro. I don't have a good one.
It's hard to say for the most recent ones.
You have God of War, the new one. You have a remake of The Shadow. You have this. You have Call of Duty, the new one. I can't tell you, baby. How about you, man?
Okay.
In order.
I'm gonna go backwards. So
Okay.
PS4, I'm actually gonna stick with Red Dead Redemption 2. I feel like that was hands down. I love GTA 5. Technically started on the PS3, but dude, Red Dead Redemption 2, hands down, best story, best gameplay, best graphics. I feel.
Yeah, and I think at this point too, there's a few people that I still talk to have not tried that game.
Dude, please play it.
Please.
That is amazing. If you ever wanted to live out your cowboy fantasies, be that Fistful of Dollars or Brokeback Mountain, whichever one you want,
Yeah.
it's easily found in Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, also hold that thought too. One more game. I'm so sorry. Sorry, bae. You're gonna hate me for this. That I kind of forgot. The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Okay, we're gonna take a cut right here because I'm gonna do a segment we haven't done in a while.
Okay,
we missed a couple episodes where we didn't do it, so we're gonna do hot takes right here right now. I did not like Last of Us.
What?
Dude, I did not like Last of Us.
What was it that you didn't like?
I don't know. I mean, it was fun enough. I played it. I tried playing it on the multiple. So typically I play on normal, so I don't have to worry about too much while I'm playing, and I still get the story. And then I'll go back and play on hard. Dude, I breezed through it. I breezed through that game like a fart through butter.
So you, so you hate it because it was easy.
No, not even that. I don't know what it is, but I just didn't care for it. People were like hyping it up as the greatest game ever made, and now part 2's coming out.
Yeah, of course.
Not gonna lie, I'm not excited for it. Like,
What?
What? If I play it, it's only
What?
because Ellie,
What?
the voice of Ellie, is actually Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
Ashley Johnson, and she's actually on Critical Role, where they play D&D.
Yeah.
And I love Ashley Johnson. She does a couple shows too, but she's like of all the cast members on Critical Role, she's my favorite. So if I play Last of Us 2, it's only just so I can hear her voice acting.
Dude,
I think she's fantastic.
For me, that's actually Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Troy Baker for me. I mean, he's in one of the bad guys from Death Stranding right now.
Yeah.
He's in this one. I mean, he's another great voice actor.
Wasn't he actually also the Penguin on Arkham City?
I think so
Asylum?
too. Yeah. There you go.
Dude, that's
Troy Baker.
you know what I will say. Okay, so getting back on topic of the games, I will say PlayStation gave us a lot of really good voice actors.
Yes.
I mean, dude, you had Troy Baker. You had, what's his name from oh shit, I'm looking at it right now. What's it called? Nate Uncharted.
Oh wow! I actually totally guessed that. I'm like, Uncharted.
Yeah, dude, like him.
Yeah.
And then you have again the guys from Red Dead Redemption. Those those guys were fantastic. You had the guys from GTA 5.
Yeah, fucking Kratos.
Dude, the voice of Kratos, like when he says "boy," like you feel it, dude. You're like, oh shit, like I'm in trouble.
Yeah, my fucking dick moved when he would say that shit.
Like, dude, like just PlayStation gave us just an awesome amount of voice actors, dude.
But I cannot believe you don't like The Last of Us, bro.
It didn't hit, dude. It didn't hit.
The story?
No, I think you know what? It's just too predictable.
What?
Yeah. Well, think about it. She's the only person immune from the virus,
and so homegirl too
for the only reason to get the cure, she has to die. And the hero doesn't want to. I will give them this. That was an amazing intro. When the outbreaks first starting and he's running down the hill with his daughter, dude, that was amazing. That was an amazing intro.
Yeah.
As for the rest of it, I didn't care.
Oh, I just love the part where in the intro where they kind of have to like stop by traffic and they literally stop next to a hospital. Yeah. And then they see these fucking people just like coming out and one's just taxing them. And he's like, reverse, fucking turn around, dude. It's just I don't know. Wow, I'm like
that intro was awesome, but like for me, the rest of the game was just not there. So
I can't be friends with you no more.
but yeah, dude. So
okay.
So PS4, like I said, Red Dead Redemption.
All right.
PS3. Wow. There's so many. I think I will give it to Uncharted.
Uncharted.
You know, Naughty Dog did a really good job with that. And see, the thing with PS4 that's so hard is because a lot of it are sequels and remakes, and it's hard to just kind of give it over to one. So that's why I mean Red Dead Redemption is still a sequel, but I'll give them that. PS3, I'll say it's a toss up between Uncharted and the Arkham series.
Batman. Yeah, the Batman ones are great.
And I mean the thing that makes it for me too was that you had not just Mark Hamill as the Joker, we had Kevin Conroy back as Batman. I mean, dude, like for us growing up, like those are their voices of Joker and Batman.
Yeah.
So to have them come back in the games, like I mean, for me that was everything. So I think specifically Arkham City, that was probably my favorite one. If we're gonna go PS2, okay, hands down, it's just Shadow Colossus. I cannot stop talking about that game. Maybe the original Red Dead Revolver, but I was but
that one actually was pretty like the differences between like the graphics and that one. And
not even the graphics, but the gameplay style. You had Red Dead Revolver on the PlayStation 2, and it was actually like segmented into levels.
Yeah.
You did have a little bit of an open area, which was the town, which you would play in between levels. But then you would get to like the main missions, and it would break it up, kind of like if you were to think of like Devil May Cry.
Okay.
It would like you had sections of the game, but each one was broken up into a level and you get graded.
Like a C or a B.
Yeah.
Or B, you know.
So Red Dead Revolver was kind of very similar to that, where you would play the mission, complete it, then you would get taken to the main town. You can walk around for a little bit before you activate the next mission.
Gotcha.
So I would say, oh man, you know what? I wouldn't even. Jeez, it's hard. Okay, for sure, it's either Shadow of Colossus or the first Kingdom Hearts for PS2. Like I can't decide. I just can't.
Again with the double dipping, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeez.
I'm undecisive. PS2 was just that good of an era.
Yeah.
Like, we just had too many games.
Yeah.
Especially, okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna change it one more time, folks. I'm sorry, but this is my definitive choice. Favorite game for PS2, Medal of Honor Frontline.
Okay.
Dude, I mean,
Okay.
you have an amazing. I mean, World War II shooter, okay, whatever, great. But this was a World War II shooter produced by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
This was just off the heels of Saving Private Ryan. So I mean, the first mission was
Dead on.
Omaha Beach. You were in that movie, and then I mean, you think about it. It was something like 20-something levels.
Yeah.
It was a huge game, and then you go from that to the following game, which was Rising Sun, and that only had 7 levels, 7 missions. Like, you're just like, dude, really, what the hell? So I mean, yeah, Frontline. That's my PS2 choice. PS1, dude. Do you remember Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster?
No.
No? Oh,
No.
God, dude. So, dude, that's a game everybody has to play. If you want to talk about life-changing, Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster. Because
Wow.
it was like the worst 3D rendered version of Jackie Chan. And like they had a really bad voice actor come in and do a really bad impression of Jackie Chan. So as it is, he has issues with his accent. This guy was worse. Like, he played it out.
Wow.
Like, it was horrible.
I think like the only 2 games I could think from the top of my head that are random that I loved, that was really underrated, besides obviously Spyro, Croc, and all those ones.
I remember Croc.
There's another one called One. Do you remember that one?
No.
It's like a dude that like it reminds me of like, what's that one Bruce Willis movie that he's in the city, and he's just like
Fifth Element?
not the Fifth Element, but actually, you know what? Yeah, it's like a little Fifth Element with Die Hard. With the Die Hard, and it was kind of
Wow,
weird.
really? You couldn't think of Die Hard?
No, I couldn't think of Die Hard. And then the other one was Blastoise. Remember, or Blastor? It was like, it looked like the
I
cover.
was saying Blastoise is a Pokemon, dude.
No, and it was a cover of, he looked like a Mr. Incredible, and he had a blaster like that, and it was like Earthworm Jim meets the Incredible.
Was it Master Blaster?
No, it's just called Blaster or Blastors or something like that. Anyways,
Alright.
yeah, if you guys know what I'm talking about, One and Blastors, I feel like those are like, I feel like my grails for the PS1, because it's just like I don't know how I found upon them, but that one, and then Tunnel 51, that's another one. It was like, see, like dude, like,
dude, you're pulling out games I haven't heard of.
I'm fucking pulling out of my ass apparently, but yeah, dude, my PS1 collection is pretty random.
Damn.
Yeah,
Dude, if I could reach back in time and pull out one game to play again today, it would have to be Poi Poi. You want to talk about random games? I don't know how the hell I found this game. I think it was at the video store.
Yeah.
And I'm perusing the PS1 games at the time to rent for the weekend. And I remember it's just a case with these little 3D kids, and there's like an explosion in the background. And it just says Poi Poi. And I don't know why the hell I decided to pick it up and rent it and take it home. Dude, this was the most random fucking game I could ever imagine. You're set up in this square arena, and sometimes there's trees and rocks and logs, or there'll be like ice cubes and boulders and shit, right? And so you're put in this arena, and it's kind of reminiscent of Power Stone. So you get these 4 players, and they start off in each corner, and each player gets a glove, like 2 gloves, and the gloves give you some kind of, like, I guess, power up or skill or something like that. And the one I used to love, it was, I can't remember what it was called, but what it would do was you would pick something up, and he would throw it up in the sky, and it would land somewhere behind him. So my favorite thing to do was to grab it, run towards the edge of the screen, and throw it, because then it was like kind of like a tracker. Because if you're to throw it in the middle of the field,
Yeah.
it would go up and just land randomly behind you.
Oh, that's fine.
And if you actually went up against the wall and threw behind you, it would land on the closest person. But yeah, the whole point of it was to like use your gloves to throw these projectiles and knock out the other players. And eventually, if you were to knock out a character, you can pick them up and use them as a weapon too. And like I said, dude, they had logs and like boulders and trees, and there was like these missiles that you can throw up and blow each other up. And I just remember like they were just random characters, and it was like oh gee, they had stupid names like Lom and Joey and Poison and Steel. And dude, they were just weird weird characters. I dare you to look that up and not tell me someone was doing coke when they came up with that game, because that's just the most random shit I ever played. But it was fun, you know. But yeah, but at that time I didn't have a memory card, so I couldn't save my damn progress. So I would finish it, turn it off, turn it back on, and I'd start all over again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as far as other underrated games, you know what?
Okay, now this is gonna be a long fucking podcast. Do you remember a game called Monster Ranch?
Yeah, dude, I remember Monster Rancher. They had a cartoon series.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, the homie Jun actually had this shit. His actual name, I don't know. He had it, and then so what you would do to get more monsters is that you play the game, and then whatever random other PS1 games you had, you put it in as well. It tells you to insert it and then to actually remove it, and then it cooks a new monster each time. You don't know how much hours we said dude, let's put all the games together, and then we literally grabbed each game and fucking all these different colored monsters. It was this, it was that. It was like Pokemon, but putting your other disc to see what monsters are. That's
fine. I remember Monster Rancher, dude, because I was actually one of the Pokemon clones. It was Pokemon, then it came out Digimon, then Monster Rancher. Yeah. I remember that, and I specifically remember that yellow guy with the eye.
Yeah, and fucking straight up says Virtual Monster Breeder.
Dude, that was a fun game. I remember that. I think I played part 2, and I got stuck on the training arena.
Yeah.
Because it was a little dirt track, and you can train your monsters on the track to run it. Mm-hmm. And I just got stuck there, and I couldn't advance the game or anything.
Yeah. What a fucking crazy ass era.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, PlayStation was weird because you got all the crazy shit from Japan.
Oh, that's right.
And, dude, but yeah, so I would say the other games I would say is Jetmoto.
Jetmoto 2?
My favorite racing game.
Jetmoto 2.
And I wish they could make a remake of it, but they can't because of all the licensing stuff.
Yeah, it was Mountain Dew,
Butterfingers
and stuff.
Dude, so you can't have a Butterfinger bike anymore.
Dude, I even had a game called Too Extreme. Remember that one? it was the rollerblade one. Remember that? Remember that?
Dude, I remember that.
It was rollerblading. If rollerblading and fucked Cruising USA.
Oh shit.
That's pretty much it right there. Too Extreme.
Jesus.
Another game. Thank you. You're welcome.
The only other game I would say I would want again from the PlayStation 1 was Time Crisis. Yeah. When they made the home console version of Time Crisis, oh my god, dude, that was amazing. Because it came with the plastic gun, and obviously it didn't have pedals to pop out.
No.
So the gun was big enough you can hold with two hands, and it had a button.
It was gray.
And you would press the button, and it would pop out. And dude, I must have gone through that game I don't know how many times and seen maybe 4 different endings, and I could never get back to them. You know
what, man? Let's just plug in every fucking console we got in this bitch.
Dude, I actually just picked up the PlayStation Mini console. Dude, if you haven't picked it up, if you can find it for $20 or less, that's a deal.
That's how much we found it for.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be your best deal because you don't really have all the greatest games. I mean you get, I got it mainly for 2 games, and that's Metal Gear and Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everything else after that, it's kind of their hits, but not really. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you can find it for $20, definitely pick it up. Other than that, not worth it.
If it was a gift, awesome. But
even better, it's free.
Yeah, but don't pay overplay.
Yeah, but definitely. So, you know what, dude? I think that's already 4 hours.
I am sweating, dude. My gooch is sweaty.
It's late. I'm tired. We have work. So we're gonna call it here. So again, usual stuff. Please subscribe, comment, leave us a like, share.
Come on.
Get our name out there.
Yes,
I swear we're working on merch. So eventually, I will say this. I did have a couple questions actually about Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah, and so I'll address it now. we're not going to start a Patreon because I feel like it's unfair that you people are giving us your hard-earned money and we're not going to be able to give you like any content on there. It's not really worth it for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it for us. You're giving us money, but I mean, I think it's kind of unfair. I mean, here YouTube's free, so it's like I'm not going to charge you for that. So, on that note, I'm going to be starting an OnlyFans, and Dr. Snake's going to have his private Snapchat set up and running soon. So, you can hit us there, and any fan boys or girls that want to join us there, hey, you're more than welcome to. But anyways, no, yeah. So we're not gonna set up a Patreon. We're just gonna be like whatever about it right now, and we'll fund the show ourselves as of now. We got a whole new studio set up right now. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and you can see like the advanced high techness of it all. But
it's from the 1980s.
Yeah, I mean we have like a 90s printer set up. It's printing out the scripts. But yeah, so like, subscribe,
please,
comment,
come on,
share the video, get us out there.
do it.
You can follow me on Instagram, the Pokétrooper, ThePoke_TROPER. You know already. Dr. Snake.
If you love feet, not my feet with shoes is los sneakers, los_los sneakers. Jordans, Yeezys, Adidas, and so forth. Might be kind of boring to you guys, but hey, I love that shit. So follow me there.
Did you happen to see those new sandals they came out with?
The new what?
The new sandals. They're designed for people with ugly feet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's literally just a pair of sandals with like some rubber feet.
That's fucking dude.
Dude, that thing looks creepy.
My feet sweat. Now I can imagine putting my feet in other feet. Fuck that, dude.
Oh my god. You know what? If they made Hobbit ones, I'd be down. Just some big ass rubber feet that can walk around in barefoot.
Like I do remember when like Jim Carrey I think came out of a building while like the paparazzi.
Oh
my
god.
Like the huge ass feet.
Yes.
Google that, guys. It's fucking hilarious.
That's another give it a shot. But all right, we're gonna call it there. You know, again, I've been the Pokétrooper,
Dr. Snake.
Thanks for joining us for the Empire Nerd Podcast. Smell you later, nerds.